Today we're having a new short story which is of a very different kind. The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe. It's written in the genre of horror because there's a murder. It describes the committing of murder and then confessing it due to being tormented by guilty conscience. An unnamed person wanted to prove that he was not insane, okay? And he committed that crime for this reason. Of course, the paper includes that the story has been written to provide a study of paranoia. Paranoia is a mental illness or psychological illness where the mentally ill person believes that he's the only person who is smart. He's the only one who is strong. He's the strongest. He's the smartest. He's the best, and no one else ever ever has this level as he is. Okay, paranoia is also a mental deterioration, of course, because later on this will cause lots of sufferings. The story starts when the narrator addresses the reader by claiming that he's nervous but not mad. Here is to emphasize the idea that he wanted to prove that he wasn't crazy, he wasn't insane, he was a sane person. Okay, this is what he wanted to prove. And yet confess to having killed an old man. His motivation or his reason for killing was neither passion nor desire for money. He didn't want to rob him, or he didn't have any reasons related to passion or whatever. Only he was afraid or scared of his pale blue eyes. This is the reason he confessed. Okay? He insists that he's not crazy because his cool and measured actions, though criminal, are not those of a madman. What he did is the following. He planned to have secret visits to the old man for 1 week, for actually 7 nights in a row. Every night he would visit that old man secretly and watch him while he was sleeping. Okay? And then the other day pretend that nothing has happened, everything was normal. Of course, this strategic plan would not be done by an insane person. It needs a sane person. But when you study paranoia and when you study other mental illnesses, you will understand that sometimes this is one of the symptoms. So it can be done this way. On the eighth night, the narrator arrives late, not at the same time, a little bit late. The old man wakes up and cries out. Probably he felt something strange, so he woke up and he cried out. Probably the neighbors heard his cry and called the police. So the narrator was scared and he decided to kill him. He killed him, but it wasn't a normal murder. Of course, same as all Edgar Allan Poe's stories later on. If you are interested in such a genre, and you'd like to read about it, you'll find out that almost all his stories include crime scenes and murders. So he killed him and cut him into pieces. He dismembered him and buried the pieces under the floor in the bedroom. Okay, below the floorboards. And he was careful not to leave even a drop of blood. When the policemen arrived, they talked to him. He talked normally and he behaved in a very normal way. They went around, they looked for everything, they found that everything was normal. However, his mental illness made him believe that he's still hearing, or he can still hear the heartbeats of the old man that he already killed. And this drove him to confess to his crime and show the police what he has done. Okay, so this is how he ended up the story.